Good morning from Ellsworth, Maine, down on the central coast of Maine, or whatever they call it here. I'm with Masayo.
Hi, good
See,
morning.
good morning, she says. We are going to go to, the reason we're staying here in Ellsworth is we're going to Acadia National Park, which is a little ways down the road here, down Highway 3. We're going to go to the visitor center there, figure out what to do, and then maybe mostly drive around, possibly a short hike here and there. We're just going to see what we see in Acadia National Park. First, we're going to go to a supermarket here and buy food for a picnic.
Yeah.
What do you think? Sandwiches?
I think so.
We think so. Something. We'll see what we find, and then it's 10 o'clock already in the morning. The morning has slipped away from us, but here we go.
Too many choices, America. It's not healthy.
Well, we've arrived at the visitor center of Acadia National Park. It may be technically true that this is not the busy season, the high season, but parking lot is full. We've been circling and circling, looking for a space just to go into the visitor center to figure out what we're going to do today. Whew, this is quite a thing. There are a lot of people here looking for a few spaces. Well, it actually wasn't that bad. I realized instead of just driving around the perimeter looking down the rows, I would actually start driving down each of the rows in a zigzag fashion. And on the third or fourth row, some gigantic truck was pulling out, and I got his little space with my little car. And we're here at the visitor center almost. All right, well, we went into the visitor center and the gift shop and stuff. Actually bought our tokens. They have 3 different tokens. I haven't seen them yet, but 3 different designs. One thing that you can do here in the park, there's one road that goes up to the top of Cadillac Mountain, which is I think it's the highest. I'm not sure. Haven't read the brochure yet. But it's kind of a special road, and they limit how many people can go. So you have to pay to get a reservation just to enter the road. And I thought with all the big crowds inside, there's no way that there's going to be any reservations available today. So I asked the person at the information desk, you have to get a brochure and map, you have to stand in line at the information desk. So I asked her, and she said, oh yeah, they might have some left. So I went online to the website. You can't do it there, you have to do it on the website. Went on there, and they had plenty of reservations. So we got a reservation for about 15 minutes from now, and it's about a 15-minute drive away. So we're going to go first to see the top of Cadillac Mountain, and maybe that'll be where we have a picnic, maybe, if that's possible. And then there's a big loop road that goes all around, and maybe later, if we're lucky, if we have time, we're going to go see the majestic lighthouse. Acadia National Park has a bus system to take visitors around the main roads, but we'll be in our own car the whole time, so we can go where we want, whenever we want. All right, here on the top of Cadillac Mountain, we've made it. Look at the views over the water. We're actually gonna walk over to the trail. There's like a little half-mile loop trail. We could get a lot of cool views. We just got to the gift shop and I actually bought a shirt. Hard to show it here, but $35. But you know, when you come to the national parks, you try to buy things and help them out because it all goes to maintaining the park. So they had a whole bunch of different designs and I chose this one and bought it. Went outside and looked at it, and the one I had was like, there was only yellow on the bottom because it was like a printing error. So I had to go back in, find the same size with a good design, and most of them were like washed out and printed wrong. So I finally got one that's, anyway, so the guy let me exchange it. So a hard won shirt, a tourist shirt, which I'll be wearing later on this trip. Okay, first thing the trail does, get to the very, very top of the mountain, or just about the top of the mountain, with excellent 360 views out over the Atlantic Ocean and the rest of Maine. Here's a 360-degree panorama view.
Down the mountain.
Those are hard to catch on video. Got these cool clicking cricket things going on. We got, they're everywhere. I'm trying to catch one as it's flying. We got colorful fall leaves just starting to dot the landscape here. You can see why this is a national park. Now, nothing else like this really that I saw in Maine so far. There you can see the I think it's called Scintillating Peninsula, and another part right at the very tip, that is another part of Acadia National Park. There's like, Acadia National Park is spread between a few places on peninsulas and a few islands. I'm not going there today, we might be going down there somewhere. I hope to see the famous Acadia Lighthouse at Bass Harbor. Okay, some facts I learned about Cadillac Mountain. Cadillac Mountain is about 1,500 feet high. That's why the views are so great. And between October and March, this is the first place in the continental United States that sees the sunrise every day. So not now, unfortunately, because it's September, but this is it. The start of America's Day begins here for 6 months of the year. Okay, we're down off of Cadillac Mountain and we're driving around the Loop Road, which is this long road that goes one way under a cool bridge all the way around this peninsula. It's all one way, but at least here it's 2 lanes. So people like me can go in like the slow lane, the slowest lane, because speed limits are real slow all over the park, 35. But I can go real slow over here and scan the woods for deer, moose, bear, mammoths, whatever they got here, and other people can pass. So it's a pretty good system. And we're looking for a place for lunch. I think there, at least on the map, there's a picnic table up here. It's probably, if there are some picnic tables, oh, there they are. There they are. Hey! And they're free! I mean, they're available. I thought it might be like a couple of picnic tables or something. It's like a whole thing full of picnic tables. So it's 2 o'clock and lunchtime. We have the fruit that we bought back in somewhere. Big Dr. Pepper, 0 sugar to share because it's a lot of it. Baked potato chips. Italian style pinwheel wraps. Oven roasted turkey and cheese sandwich. We're going to split these between us, and we're going to split everything, all of this really. And that's it. Perfect. Now if some deer show up, or moose, close enough to be photographed but not to bother us, that would be great. Anyway, lunchtime. The rest of the loop line is all over here, and then the lighthouse is down here. After all morning and lunch in the park, we still hadn't actually been through one of Acadia's entrance gates. For some reason, it's halfway down Loop Road, and after going through, there seemed to be more people than cars. This is the main part of the park, and the most dramatic road as it winds right by the Atlantic Ocean. All right, it was a great meal, a great picnic, and now we're back on the Loop Road. I'm gonna go do the entire Loop Road, which goes around this great desert island, or Grand Desert Island, whatever it's called. Can't remember the name, but still on the one-way loop. There it keeps opening up into these views of the ocean, which are just, there's the sun sparkling on it. It's amazing. Sometimes there's a place to pull over and look at some amazing cliff. And the idea today is to do the entire Loop Road, go get back around to the beginning where the visitor center was, and we're gonna take another kind of state road over down to the next island, which is where the Bass Harbor Lighthouse is, which is one of the classic images of Acadia National Park. It's 3:20 p.m. now. I was joking earlier this morning, like, we're gonna get it back. It's gonna be like 4 o'clock before we get back to the hotel. It's going to be 8 o'clock? We don't know, but it's so great here. I'm gonna pull over for this right here. I see a lot of waves crashing onto rocks. Look at this. I found her. She almost got away. This is the famous sitting gull of Bar Harbor. Very, very rare sight. This individual gull is probably the most famous gull in the United States. I didn't just make that up. You can trust me. As you gaze out onto this amazingness, the true amazingness of the Maine coast, I would like to give a shout out to the travel gods who did this for us, did the weather for us today like this, because the weather forecast said today was going to be cloudy all day, or like overcast all day. And it is not. I mean, I guess that counts as sort of cloudy, but in a kind of a perfect way. Woo! It's kind of a big drop off down there. On another little half-mile one-way hike to something called the Bubbles. I didn't quite sure what it is, but there is a bubble rock involved. But I didn't see any explanation of what that was, so it just looks interesting. Sounds interesting. Okay, I think we're getting closer to Bubble Rock. Get to finally find out what that is. Well, I'm not sure. Is that Bubble Rock? Or are we standing on Bubble Rock? We don't know. Not sure what this is, but it is a view to a tree-covered mountainous landscape, which is genuinely spectacular. Later, online, I saw that the bubbles are two large bubble-shaped mountains next to each other. We were standing on the south bubble, I think. Somehow we missed this view of Jordan Pond, although it must have been just a few feet away from where we were. None of this is explained in the brochure or on the few signs that I saw, but other people seem to find it. Oh well, it was still a fun excursion, although the hike back was a bit of a challenge for a weary wanderer. Ow. Ooh. So it's about a half mile up. I'm not sure we actually saw Bubble Rock, but whatever we saw was kind of cool. It's now a half mile back, and that half mile is over this kind of very rocky, very difficult terrain, steps and stuff. And my knee is hurting. It's a little tough to walk. The pain kind of comes and goes. It's like this muscle kind of below my knee on the side of my leg. Right now, okay, so I think I'll be okay, but we need to take it easy. Glorious, glorious surroundings of me. Look at the colors on these trees. Oh, and my CGM just went off because my blood sugar is low. I had some glucose. I'm not quite better yet, so still a little disoriented. So, good hike is what I'm trying to say. The climax of our time in Acadia was the drive down to Bass Harbor Lighthouse to see the sunset. The rest of the day is in the extended version of this video. Visit patreon.com/T1DWanderer to see it and all my other extended videos, and to sign up for my free weekly newsletter and other bonus travel videos. Special thanks this week to Calvin Ferreira, Darcy Otranto, David Richley, Lever Wong, Matt Kane, Michael Fedor, Nathaniel Holland, Omeyer, Ray Nichols, Samantha, and Will Phillips.